starring Johnny Carson. This is Ed McMahon along with Doc Severinsen and the NBC Orchestra, inviting you to join Johnny and his guests, Merv Griffin, Paula Poundstone, and consumer protector David Horowitz. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Johnny.
Very nice. Thank you.
Next party!
Yeah. How many in your party? Antoine, a table for 500. What's... Friday night, right?
Yeah.
You can tell the audience. Let me guess, you all just flew in from the Harvard birthday celebration. You make up for last night. We had... No, come on. Are they gone? Lowbrow crowd last night, right?
Yeah.
I was distracted during the monologue by a woman in the third row, sitting right over there, and every time she crossed her legs, her hair curlers made sparks. Give you an idea how rough they were before the show. They all received firearms from Nancy Reagan's maid. Tough group. Anyway, you sound good. We got a good show. I thank you for coming. A lot of you are from out of town, I know, visiting here. Los Angeles is a strange place, wouldn't you say? Yeah. I drive to work, as you know. I came down Sunset Boulevard today. Girl holding up a sign that said, 0% financing. My day got off to a strange start. Went to take a shower this morning, and Bobby Ewing stepped out. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Last season's cliffhanger, Dallas, Bobby Ewing stepped out of Victoria Principal's shower after he was supposedly dead. Now, that's my idea of dying and going to heaven. Not. Okay, so, anyway. We got a good show tonight. Later on, we're going to have a meat-slinging fight between Goose Gossage and Ronald McDonald. I better reprise what happened. If you know Goose Gossage, the pitcher, was suspended by the Padres for disparaging remarks about McDonald's. And, of course, the lady who owns McDonald's, Joan Kropp, is the owner of the Padres. He was suspended. Found out it was going to cost him $300,000. So today, Goose decided that McDonald's ranks with some of the finest restaurants in the world. Turnabout. Gutsy guy. The news is about Harvard University's in the paper. 350... Anybody here go to Harvard? Of course not. You're... Freddie de Cordova, you went to Harvard, didn't you?
Harvard Law School, sir.
What are you doing on this show?
If I've asked myself that...
Harvard, I think, has turned out, according to them, they have turned out most of the doctors, lawyers, and politicians in this country. It's about time we shut that place down. Anyway, Harvard has turned out a lot of great actors. Sylvester Stallone went to Harvard. They turned him out. Hey, man's got to do what he's got to do, you know. Now, on television news last night, Gaddafi, Colonel Gaddafi, couldn't even make himself a major. I mean, colonel. Doesn't he own the country? I mean, he's a colonel. Couldn't he be whatever he wants to be?
Sure, he'd be general.
Well, he should be general. So he's a colonel. Shows you how bright he is. General de Gaulle. De Gaulle was a general. This ninny is a colonel. He made his speech yesterday in Zimbabwe to the representatives of the 100 non-aligned nations, and while he was talking, there was a simultaneous translation of his speech into rational. Gaddafi, of course, spoke in his native tongue, bonkers. All right, according to the newspapers today, an interesting controversy. You may be aware of this. The networks will not allow commercials for contraceptives on television. Some people said they should. The networks maintain that showing birth control devices on television will offend some viewers. It depends on your point of view. Now, the networks claim they are already promoting birth control by televising the football season. On the way home tonight, you're going to say, hey, that's not bad. You know whose birthday it is today? Davy Crockett. 200. Davy Crockett, too. The band is applauding Davy Crockett. Best known for wearing, I guess, a coonskin cap. You ever wear a coonskin cap?
Never.
Some scout. Everybody knew he was coming. Coonskin cap is not a... Hello. Okay. Well, tonight, one of my guests, as you know, is Mr. Merv Griffin. And Merv... Yes, Merv, as you know, is retiring from his show. Merv sold his company to Coca-Cola for a lot of money. I'm not doing as well. I'm fighting a hostile takeover from Bartles and James. Well, Merv is retiring from his race. Merv now has a new distinction. He's the only personality in Hollywood who doesn't have a late-night talk show anymore. No, Merv is a good friend, but I'll be honest. Toward the end, Merv was stretching for theme shows. I saw one last month, Famous Midgets and Their Moms. You haven't lived till you've seen Bertha Villachay's. Anyway. Also, it's going to be a good show. Ooh, yes, Merv's here. Also, consumer advocate David Horowitz is with us tonight. David is back. David is backstage right now as I speak, sorting out trail mix, seeing if we're being shortchanged on sunflower seeds. And very funny comedian Paula Poundstone is with us tonight. And later on, as a special surprise, all the owners of lighting fixture stores on Ventura Boulevard will be out here to tell us how many Valley girls it takes to change a light bulb. Anyway, stay where you are. We'll be right back. Thank you.
I'm about to offend a lot of steak lovers by covering this beautiful sirloin with ketchup. You wouldn't do that, right? Yet you'd pour ketchup on a burger. And isn't that chopped steak? Try A1 steak sauce on your burger instead of ketchup. Its herbs and spices bring out the natural flavor of steaks. It makes hamburgers taste like steak burgers. So don't cover it, discover it with A1. And save the ketchup for your fries.
When you need tools, any kind of tools, for every kind of job, one place and one name give you more good choices than anywhere else. Sears and Craftsman.
There's more for your life at Sears.
Okay, Joey, this is for the car. It's First Spot Run. That's the winner.
Wheel of Fortune.
It'll bring out the kid in you.
Saturday at 7. Poison.
Dior.
Poison.
Poison is my potion.
Poison, the remarkable new fragrance from Christian Dior. Receive this special free gift with any Poison purchase, exclusively at Macy's.
Hello, friends. There we are back. Good crowd tonight. Anything to report?
Nothing spectacular.
I'm catching the red eye tonight.
I heard that.
Yeah. That's the late plane to New York.
Yeah.
That's a strange schedule. You get into New York
Like
about
6,
6, but
yeah.
it's 3 o'clock your time. You ever take that flight?
Yeah, well, many times.
And try to convince yourself that it's 6 in the morning when your mind is saying or your brain is saying it's 3?
And you want to go to bed, and you can't.
Go out and watch the tennis.
Sure.
Go back and watch the U.S. Open. Anyway, tonight on the show we have Mr. Merv Griffin, who will join us, who just concluded his last show, I think, that Merv taped, was shown tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Remarkable record, on for over 23 years. David Horowitz is with us, will show us how not to get ripped off. Paula Poundstone, a very funny comedian. Anything else I'm forgetting? No. All right. Like most large office buildings.
Boy, you plunge right in, don't you? Don't know.
I got the
No
stuff.
segue, nothing. Just bang.
Well, you tell them what we're going to do.
Right.
NBC, as you know, has a public address system, and
Yes.
sometimes, like major large corporations, they have a paging system. It went out today,
Oh.
and they had some announcements to make to the building, and they asked me if I would make these series of general announcements. You buy that?
Yeah.
Why?
Tell them what you're going to tell them.
That's
and
right.
then tell them.
And I hope you'll bear with me, and this will go to all the offices and all over NBC,
Sure.
and I hate to take up your time to do this, but
But they asked you to do it.
they asked me to do it, and I figured since we had no other material. Attention. See, I know this is kind of loud. Maintenance man needed in the wardrobe department. Air conditioning is out. The Golden Girls' rubber stockings have melted. Some of these you may find amusing. Stagehand Lyle Katz has won a $25 gift certificate in the NBC employee Describe Yourself in the Nude contest. Attention. You think the reverb helps at all? Will anyone with information leading to the arrest or conviction of the persons who let the air out of the heels of Bert Conby's shoes please speak to the security guard? Attention. I feel like a guy at Kmart. Shoppers, aisle 6, garden hose. Phil Donahue will be doing a show from Burbank next week. If you are a Nazi transvestite bedwetter, report to the Donahue casting office immediately. We have a correction. All employees taking the mandatory drug test should have proceeded to the first aid room, not the commissary. We apologize for any inconvenience may have caused anyone. Last line I can't even read. Attention, KNBC News, local news here in Los Angeles, wishes to announce they are doing a special program on dyslexia tonight. Flim at 11. Don't write. Don't. Attention, All female employees, call security if you are approached by a man with an open blue raincoat. He is not, repeat, he is not a Smurf. Attention members of the Tonight Show band. The Rub-a-Dub-Dub Massage Parlor on Buena Vista Street will be considered off limits following yesterday's incident involving the parachute and the miniature Civil War soldiers. Don't even know what that means. Attention janitorial staff. Report to the Alameda Avenue entrance. The Bloodmobile has been tipped over by Ed McMahon, who thought it said Bloody Mary Mobile. Anyway, tonight, Mr. Merv Griffin is here, Paula Poundstone, David Horowitz, and we'll be back in just a moment.
You want to hold it up, John?
I beg your pardon?
You got to hold up.
Oh, yeah, I do? Okay, well, we haven't left yet, right?
No.
Oh, good. Thanks for telling me. I thought we were off the air.
Yeah, you almost said that line you couldn't say.
Oh, no. Okay. Exceptionally smooth Michelob could make tonight the best part of your day.
You don't just brew a beer this good. You nurture it, day and night. But we don't mind. Our nights make Michelob, and Michelob could make your night the best part of your day.
There's something so easy you can do for your health that you may not have thought of.
Beautiful feeling.
One of the healthiest things for you is a good night's sleep. That's why Sealy Posturepedic is designed in cooperation with leading orthopedic surgeons.
Beautiful feeling.
You feel so good when you're cushioned in comfort and correctly supported on a Posturepedic mattress. Sealy Posturepedic, because healthy is a beautiful way to feel.
It's the great Pennzoil Jeep giveaway. And for 20 lucky winners, something wild's going to drive into their lives. To enter, round up the entry forms that are on every bottle of quality Pennzoil motor oil. Or look for the Pennzoil display for all them details. The great Pennzoil Jeep giveaway. Enter today. And Jeep Wrangler just might drive into your life.
We are back. Okay. This is somewhat of a different departure from my first guest tonight. I consider Merv Griffin a friend and a colleague in this business, and Merv has just wrapped it up. I guess his last show was shown on the air tonight, earlier, after 23 years on television. And I'll tell you, in this business, anybody who can hang around for 23 years has got something, and they've got a loyal audience. So we thought, since his final show was tonight, since Merv has never appeared on this show before as a guest, it might be nice to have him come out and talk a while. Would you welcome Mr. Merv Griffin? Now, Now, as if you didn't have enough money, you get another residual from your theme song. Good thinking.
Ooh, that was good.
You beat me to it. You beat me to it.
Ooh.
I start doing that.
You're thin.
Are you conscious?
Well, I mean, that steams me.
Are you conscious of your little mannerisms? You do them all the time, and I start picking up on them the past year or so, where you go, ooh, I've got, you know, I do this, I play with the pencils, I do this a lot.
Yeah.
But when we're performing, we are so unconscious of it. But the ooh.
And sometimes,
yeah. You want to hear your laugh, what you do when somebody says something, and you're being so polite sometimes. Sometimes they don't say anything really funny at all, but you react like they just said something. So just say anything, and I'll do any of it.
Yeah, so, isn't it funny, Doc Severinsen looks like a communist Don Johnson.
Ooh. You do. Oh, yeah.
Well, see, I think...
You didn't know that, huh?
No, but after all these years of doing the show, you do pick up little strange ticks.
Yeah, don't
you know, Rich Little counted yours. You have 28.
That's what he said once.
Yeah.
He came out and did a whole bunch of things, and I watched it and went crazy.
But they are fun.
Your last show is?
Tonight.
It was shown tonight.
You win.
What?
I say you win. 23.
There was a time when we were on opposite each other. You were on, Dick Cavett was on, and you had 3 shows at 11:30 on ABC, CBS, and NBC, which made it a little muddled.
It was
for
strange.
all of us.
We all were, I mean, we were going over to Sardi's and pulling guests, you know, out of the dining room. And if we'd see somebody in the phone booth, you'd say, Joe. The night it really all happened was the night, I don't know if you're aware of it, Jerry Lewis made all 4 shows and never told any of us.
Oh, yeah, he made the rounds.
He made the rounds and never told us. And I went to the staff the next day and I said, we got to leave town. You know, it's...
How did you feel? You know, it's a long time. It's a lot, thousands and thousands of shows.
Yeah.
You had to have, I know you have other things you want to do, but there has to be some mixed emotions.
Terrible.
When you close something like that up.
It hit me, I think, about a week before the close, after I had said, I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
And then the audience applauded. I said...
You don't know how to read that either, do you? Yeah.
Oh. I said, well, okay. And a week before the last show, it hit me. And I did a strange thing. I got in my new white Corvette, and...
I won't.
Same one?
Yeah.
They're parked together out there.
Are we?
Yeah.
Parked together?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
My dreams have come true.
In fact, on your way home tonight, I can phone you. You have a phone.
Give me a call.
Yeah. Ooh. Was it good, John?
Ooh. Good.
So I did a strange thing. I got in the car and I started driving, which was wonderful.
Just to clear the head?
However, I ended up way out in the desert, in the dark, finding on a map my way to a thing called Laughlin, Nevada. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
Have you ever heard of Laughlin, Nevada?
No.
Have you? Someone once said, because I love Las Vegas, you do too, it is the new Las Vegas. Well,
I've never heard of it.
I know. I drove for miles, hundreds of miles, and suddenly at 11 o'clock at night, I came up over a hill, and there it was, the whole Colorado River and all of the lights and the fantasy and the hotels of Las Vegas. And it was super. And I went in and played blackjack and got myself together, got in the car, came back home, did a lot of thinking, said...
All by yourself?
All by myself. I said, I now can handle it.
Yeah.
Right.
What did you say to your audience the last show?
I said, I'm going to say something I've never had the opportunity for 23 years on this show. I will not be right back after this message. Yeah. And I said, that's all, folks.
That's a long run. You know, I know on your show tonight, which we played earlier, of course, on this show, you had a lot of clips of people who've been on your show. I'm sure a lot of them have been on this show and been on a lot of other shows, because in this business, a lot of the guests, of course, make the same shows. You brought one clip tonight of somebody who I adored, Freddie DeCordova adored. Freddie worked for him, directed his show, and he probably had one of the greatest influences on me of any entertainer, which was Jack Benny. You brought a little snippet from Jack.
But I got to explain it. Yeah. I asked him possibly the dumbest question that anybody could ever ask, because a lot of times I am so awed by the guests that I say dumb things. Ooh. I don't do that. This one was to Jack Benny. I just didn't know how to handle him, and as you will see, I asked him a question, and he responds. Do you want to see it?
Sure.
This is my favorite.
Watch the monitor. Here's a question of Jack Benny.
Yeah.
George Burns?
Yes.
Terrible things.
The worst one I ever heard was when the late Jeanette MacDonald.
Well, that's the same thing.
Was singing at her home after a dinner party, a few friends.
And George Burns came over to me and says, if you laugh when she sings, it'll be awful.
They carried you out, I heard that.
No, and then he stood in back of me, and I knew he was standing there. You can imagine what happened to me, and I'm sitting there. Why would I laugh at Jeanette MacDonald singing?
But did you?
Unless this guy would, well, it would have been beeped out anyway.
Yeah. Do you remember your first laugh on a stage?
That's the silliest question.
God, I love the only man in the world, huh? Who would dare do that?
The only performer in the world who could get away with that.
Yeah.
Just stand and look at you and gut it out and stand there for... He could have probably done that another minute and it would have kept building.
The day I knew I was getting ready to quit, because there were no more questions, and I had really run out. And Sophia Loren was a guest, and I was stunned. And I did a lot of staring at her, and she went right on. And finally she said, you realize I am 50 years old. And the audience went, whoa. I didn't, they did. And they all went, whoa, 50. And I said, is everything 50? And then I knew my time was up.
It was time.
You know what I mean?
It's time to get in the Winnebago.
Yeah, get in the Winnebago.
We'll be right back.
She couldn't be happy with the amount of refrigerator. No, she had to get the matching range.
I didn't get it because it matched, silly. I got it because it had everything I was looking for, and it was still reasonable. And it matched.
Thank you, Amanda, for being so reasonable. First the refrigerator, now the range. Who knows? Tomorrow it could be Amanda washers and dryers.
Actually, they're coming Thursday.
When you know exactly what you want, Amana.
I'm thinking about buying some Michelin radials.
How come?
Well, Michelin's really last.
What do you base that on?
Experience. I got 60,000 miles from my last set.
60? Pretty good. But your car's getting old. It's just not worth Michelin's anymore.
You're right. But who's buying them for the car?
Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
In the days of Frederick Miller's Plank Road Brewery, grain merchants searched the countryside for prize barley. Barley to make draft beer, fresh from the keg. It's hard to find beer like that today, because most bottled and canned beers are cooked to preserve them. Well, there's still a beer made like draft. It's cold filtered instead of cooked. Plank Road, keg beer in a bottle.
Alan Cranston is America's leading opponent of apartheid in South Africa, and Congress has followed his lead. Republicans and Democrats alike voted for sanctions, but not Ed Schau. The top Democratic and Republican leaders in California support sanctions, but not Ed Schau. Schau says we should encourage American business to invest in South Africa. Do you want a senator who stands with the extremists? With Jesse Helms and Jerry Falwell on the wrong side in South Africa?
If you're concerned about the effects of music videos on our nation's youth, or you are our nation's youth, join the head of NBC programming and Jay Leno on Friday Night Videos.
First, there was the French Connection.
What are you looking at?
Now the cop that cracked it wide open is back.
Don't even think about it.
The world premiere of Popeye Doyle, Sunday.
I like what the governor's doing. and I'm glad I supported him. Now I look forward to working closely with him to build a better future for California.
Re-elect Duke Machen governor, Mike Curb lieutenant governor. Sensible, experienced leadership for all California.
I oppose Rose Bird, and my opponent in this fall's election supports her. I think it's about time we get judges who will give the victims a better shake than the criminals.
Elect Duke Machen, Mike Curb, Team 86.
A special place for children of alcoholics.
I thought it was all my fault. I thought I made them drink.
An undercover Target 4 investigation of a shady help-wanted operation and the life of urban road warriors.
Feels great to be alive.
I'm Jim Paymar. Join Sylvia Chase and me for the premiere of our new Cover Story magazine. Sunday at 5:30 here on Channel 4.
Thank you, Doc. Oh. We're back. Good talking, Merv. When are you and Ava Gabor going to get married?
Tuesday.
Tuesday?
No. They have to
been...
space them. One just got married.
I just thought I would throw that out, too.
No.
You have been, as they say...
When are you and Alexis getting married?
Oh, gosh. Yeah, but you've been, as they say, keeping company with Ava for some time. And is it platonic, or is there more of a...
What's platonic mean?
Just a friendly...
We're both on Pluto waters?
No.
We've known each other a long time.
I know that. I'd love to see you struggle. You see, you did it again.
But that's it.
See? Okay, I'll get off of that. We have quite a bit in common, strangely enough. We both worked in radio.
Right.
Which
station were you?
I was in Omaha, and then the local station in Omaha. And then came out here. We both did a game show.
Right. You did Who Do You Trust?
Who Do You Trust?
Which was originally called
Do You Trust
Your Wife? But they changed it on account of you.
Yeah.
And I did play your hunch.
That's right. Yeah. And then we both did a show from 6B in
we started the
New York City.
Same day, same year, same studio.
We both
And we would be even in years.
Mm-hmm.
And we probably are if you count all your vacations. Right?
You came here to get all this out of your system.
No.
We both did a little stint on Broadway. You were in The Moon Is...
No Moon Is Blue I did. I was in Finian's Rainbow on Broadway.
I was in Tunnel of Love for a while on Broadway. I only had one excursion into the movies.
Yeah, well, I had, unfortunately, more than that, but it could have been. We were going to have a film festival, a Merv Griffin film festival on my show, and when they put all of my appearances together, it ran 4 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, out of 7 movies.
Is this picture here still from one of those pictures?
Yeah. See, that's the wrong way to kiss.
What is this?
That's Katherine Grayson and me in So This Is Love.
So This Is Love.
Yeah.
I made a movie with Connie Francis called Looking for Love.
See?
And they transferred it to flammable nitrate stock.
Did they?
That was the only picture I ever made, but you made more than that.
Well, I did. I was a stock player at Warner Brothers, so I did Cattletown, A Boy from Oklahoma, 3 Sailors and a Girl. But, they were little cameos, you know.
You see, now, I never sang with a big band. You sang, of course, with Freddie Martin.
Yeah, but you played drums.
Yeah, but I never did the big band thing.
Yeah, we're both tall and thin.
And now... we're both tall. And now Coca-Cola, and it was in all the pictures.
We both worked with Don Keough.
That's right. Don
the
Keough
president
of
Coca-Cola.
Worked on in WW in Omaha. He did a show called Coffee Counter. We both started in television and back then.
No, I worked for him.
Yeah, but now your company was purchased by Coca-Cola. For a real big taste, I mean, you, as you would say, you're really loaded, aren't you?
Yeah.
I mean...
Well, they tell you that, see, but you never see it.
Okay, get out of here. What are you talking about? You never see it.
You don't see it. I mean, they buy the company, right? But do they come and stack the money on your desk?
Well,
they say
they wouldn't have a big enough desk to stack that. You're talking... What are you talking about? I mean...
They say we wired it to your bank.
Sure.
So I investigated. I said, what do you mean you wired that to my bank? Evidently, in some bank somewhere, there is a little man who, if they wire the money, gets the money and moves it over to your side, right?
It's all paperwork. Anyway, that was very nice. Well, why not?
Well, there's mergers. Why don't you merge?
Well, I told you once I did a joke tonight about Bartles and James with the takeover, and I mentioned once when it first came out that Yoo-Hoo was trying to take over by my company, and you sent me a six-pack. How many of you remember Yoo-Hoo, the chocolate drink?
That's the
showed up at my office a six-pack of Yoo-Hoo, which I still have up there.
Dr. Brown's celery tonic is looking for a merger.
Yeah. No, what are your plans? You mentioned to me when we had dinner together a few weeks ago that you might do a show based on the big band era and with new music from the old Coconut Grove in Los Angeles. Is there anything happening with that?
Well, no, it's not from the old Coconut Grove. No. When I first started, I had a band. Cal Jader was my drummer. We went to school together, and we went out and played jobs. First job was a Coconut Grove in Santa Cruz, California. Second job, no, really? That'll ruin the demographics of the audience. Then the second job was with Freddie Martin, the Coconut Grove in Hollywood. My first hit record with him was I've Got a Lovely Bunch of Coconuts.
I've Got a Lovely Bunch of Coconuts.
So I figured we call it the Coconut Ball.
How many of you remember? Let me find
Oh, no, this is embarrassing.
I remember it. I remember the song. I could sing it for you, and I can give you the melody. I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts.
That's very good. That's very... You were a fan of mine when you were a little kid?
No. I just remember that awful song.
What? B flat. Dum-ba-dum-ba-dum. Down at an English fair, one evening I was there, when I heard a showman shouting underneath the flare, I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts. There they are standing in the row. Big ones, small ones, some as big as your head. You give them a twist, a flick of the wrist, that's what the showman said.
Well, there's a...
For more money, I would finish, of course.
There's definitely a music video in that. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. I've got a lovely...
Oh, my goodness, he caught the ball.
The following message is about life.
Bob, right off his head.
The life you don't get in an ordinary battery.
Never seen anything.
And the life you do get in new Kodak Superlife alkaline batteries. They last much longer than ordinary batteries. And only Superlife has a real gold tip to ensure the best contact.
Oh, yeah, let's see it again on the replay.
Now, do you settle for the ordinary or go for the gold?
Okay, time for bed.
Just 10 more minutes.
All right. 10 more minutes. It's a Walton's rerun. So tonight, I'll compromise. But not in the morning. We make sure the orange juice is Minute Maid. It actually has more vitamin C than most other chilled orange juices, and it always tastes great. So they can lose a few Z's at night, but no C's in the morning.
For all the vitamin C you need, make it Minute Maid.
There's just two kinds of cars in the summer. Those ready to stay one step ahead of blistering heat, and those that aren't. Don't get caught. Make tracks for the max.
Make tracks for the max. Crank it.
Buy 2 gallons of Prestone coolant and pay only $2.89 a gallon after mail-in rebate. Protect your radiator with a new Stat swivel radiator cap, just $2.66. And don't forget an oil filter. A Fram oil filter is only $2.39 right now at
Crank It Auto Parts.
Today's high-compression engines not only rev high, they can run hotter than regular small car engines. Their searing heat can begin to break down an oil immediately. That's why there's Castrol. the only leading motor oil that in every grade provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. So use Castrol before your engine does something to get you heated up. Castrol, engineered for today's smaller cars.
Castrol, on sale at all Gemco stores from September 4th through September 10th.
All right, here's a young lady who has been with us before. Paula Poundstone is somewhat offbeat, very bright comedian, and I think she's been on David Letterman, Saturday Night Live. I think she was on your show. This is her second time with us. She's going to be at the Comedy Magic Club in Hermosa Beach this weekend, and at the new Improvisation in Dallas, Texas next week. Would you welcome Paula Poundstone? Paula?
Thanks. Thanks. How are you? I'm in a great mood. I'm very happy to be here. Merv and Johnny at the same time. This is kind of a cool thing right there. I used to work at the International House of Pancakes. It was the worst job I ever had in my life. But you set your goals and you go for them. It was a dream. I made it happen. I could probably get you guys in if you want it bad enough. It was a terrible job, and I'll tell you something. When people would be rude to me, I would touch their eggs. It's a true story. I just flip them over in the back with my hands a couple of times. They didn't know. I felt better. It worked out. I didn't want to. I had to. So I actually tried to lose weight before I came. I tried to lose weight for the show, but it's hard for me because I refuse to eat less or exercise. I did go to one of those weight-lifting places. This is gross. These people are chained to these machines. They're going... If you have to pick anything up and it causes you for any reason to go... Put it down. It's not a sport. Anyways, these people, they pick up a heavy thing and put it down again. To me, that's indecision. I bought a trampoline from my backyard, though, so now whenever I'm home, I put on Helen Reddy, I Am Woman really loud and go out and jump. It's true. My neighbors think I'm really weird because they don't know that I have a trampoline. Yeah. Well, they just know they see me over the fence every few seconds. I am kind of weird, I guess. I'm sort of a nervous, nudgy person. People yell at me all the time, for one thing. Complete strangers feel fresh and confident telling me what I'm doing wrong. People yell at me when I drive. They, like, honk and yell. It makes me have to crash into their car. People yell, lousy driver. I crash right into their car. I go, you were right. My car's actually... And you know what? I don't understand what everyone else is so mad about anyways. They know how to drive. I'm the one who should be upset. I should roll down my window and get into it with them. Hey, what the hell do I think I'm doing here? Am I going to get this piece of junk out of here or what? It is a piece of junk, actually. It's virtually impossible to turn the wheel of my car. If sometimes I'll be going to, like, a friend's house and I accidentally go past, I just go, well, then forget it. I'll go another time. It's the parking thing. I tried to park beside Johnny and Merv tonight, but they wouldn't let me. But the other day I parked in a street cleaning space, and I did see the sign, but there was, so I left a note that said, no, leave it. I'll get this area. Because I love to vacuum, and I would have been happy to do that. But oh no, they gave me a ticket because cops pick on me. Has anybody here ever been pulled over for attempted speeding? Yeah, the cop said, well, we knew what you were trying to do, and if you didn't have such a piece of junk car, you could have gotten away with it, too. And just today, I almost hit 3 little kids, actually. It wasn't my fault. They were in the way. And I was trying to make a left-hand turn during rush hour traffic. I did actually see them there, but I thought to myself, the odds of there being 3 more kids born are so much greater than the chances of my ever having another opportunity to make a left. I did what I had to do. Actually, it doesn't even matter how I drive. The other night, I was in a club. I come out, my car had rolled down the hill and smashed into another car. Now, you know, I've always known that I'm a bad driver and I'll eventually be in a car wreck. But it never occurred to me that my car might strike out on his own. This brings you to a whole nother level of worry. The next day, somebody was driving me someplace. There was a car wreck up ahead. I was just like, oh, my God, I hope it's not my car. It's alive. My car is alive. His name is Dave, and he's my best friend. It's not a healthy thing, and I know that. Someday it'll have a breakdown, and I'll have a breakdown right afterwards. They'll find me on the side of the road yelling at it like I'm its parent. Saying, do you have any idea how much money I've spent on you this month alone? Look at all the other cars. They're moving. Had to have brake shoes. I buy them for you. You won't wear them. I guess that's a bad sign. I don't know. I'm kind of I have no friends. I have a car. I mostly just, I don't know. And then I get depressed. The other day I tried to kill myself. I was going to use carbon monoxide because that's really the best thing that my car is for. And only my building has a big underground parking garage, so I was doing it, but it was taking a really long time. I had to bring a stack of books and some snacks. People would tap on the window and go, how's that suicide coming? Pretty good, thanks. I felt drowsy earlier today. You guys have been terrific. Thank you.
Paula Poundstone. She's strange. Paula has a strange mind. Not often you see comedy with a contortionist act at the same time. It's interesting.
I didn't know where that right leg went.
No. David Horowitz will join us in a moment.
I don't see the world through rose-colored glasses, or any glasses anymore. When I got contact lenses, I got to look like my natural self again. And I got something else, wide-angle eyes. I could see everything. Now nothing comes between me and what I see.
See your eye care professional for proper fitting and care. Contact lenses. You won't just look better, you'll see better.
You know, when people drop by my apartment, they say, well, this is the apartment. You can guess what they say. They say, don't you have a couch? Don't you have a dining room set? Dining room set. I do, however, have Maxwell House instant coffee. Seems to reassure most folks that I'm a reasonably tasteful guy. And after 1 or 2 cups, they forget they're sitting on lawn furniture. But when they get up, the backs of their thighs look like Belgian waffles.
If it's not Mrs. Paul's fish and pasta Florentine,
Look.
throw it back.
No, Mrs. Paul's.
If it's not Mrs. Paul's fish Dijon, throw it back. When it comes to seafood, remember, the name to ask for is Mrs. Paul's.
Voila.
If it's not Mrs. Paul's shrimp primavera,
Voila.
throw it back.
Think of the spirit at Macy's. It's a blend of the best. From all the corners of the world, from sweaters to furniture and all the rest. Enrich your world with special touches. Nothing means quite as much as the real global spirit at Macy's. You'll find it that's all at Macy's. The real global spirit at Macy's.
Hi there. Okay. My next guest, you all know, a syndicated columnist, the host of NBC's Fight Back, and David makes weekly appearances on the Today Show. Consumer expert David Horowitz. All right.
See you.
see you.
How do you see you?
Hi.
Little extracurricular work, David, or what?
I just came from a screening of Top Gun.
Yeah? Is this real?
You know, Johnny, I want to tell you something. You
Well,
know,
this is real.
Nowadays, I'm dripping all over myself here. God, what's going on? Oh, this is the water gun. Johnny, you know, nowadays, there is a multi-million-dollar market in replica weapons and toys.
Oh, I guess, David.
Are you aware of that, John?
I am now.
Do you have a water gun at all that squirts one of these things? You know, one of these or one of these?
Now, this here is an Uzi.
That's a real one.
Semi-automatic.
Now, you're probably wondering, why am I bringing this stuff out here?
I don't know, David. Why are you bringing these things out here?
Johnny, we have a problem.
All right.
And the problem is that people are actually using these toy guns, these replicas, to not only scare and intimidate, but hold up people. And people think, obviously, if you're in a dark place and you see these two, audience, could you tell which one is the real one if it were dark?
No.
You would know. You'd be frightened.
I wouldn't
So just think what a kind of a decision a policeman would make, Johnny.
Well, now, how are you going to stop this? There's nothing illegal about this, is there?
There is a way to stop it. The city of Anaheim, California, has just passed an ordinance which says if you threaten anyone with a toy weapon of any kind, it's against the law. All right?
Oh, that's good.
Good. That's one of the first cities to do it. Also, that is a Heckler & Koch submachine gun replica. Tough to tell the difference. Also, what is being proposed by law enforcement people across the United States is that if anyone commits a crime...
Yes?
Using a weapon like this, Johnny, a water gun or whatever...
Yes?
That they will be treated the same way as if they used a real gun.
Well, that's a good law.
I think that's great.
That's a good law. Okay. What else you got?
Where's my shirt?
Right there, David.
Johnny, you know how I tell people to fight back?
Oh, yes.
People are aroused.
Constantly. You do that all the time.
That's right, Johnny.
Ooh.
There's something going on here.
Yes.
Are you folks aroused when you get high utility bills?
Oh, you betcha. Oh, boy.
Do you want to send a charge back to the power company?
Yeah.
Here is a man.
You're a rabble-rouser.
I'm a rabble-rouser.
Right.
Here is a guy who lives in Menams, I can't pronounce it. It's in Illinois. Maybe you know, John.
Mominy,
Illinois. A guy?
Indian name.
Menominee, Illinois. His name is Donald Gilbert Sr. This guy was so upset with the power company.
Yes.
He wanted to fight back. So what he kept doing is sending them little messages to show his displeasure. And what he said is, I'm going to fix them. I'm going to pay my utility bill, which I think is out of sight, by giving them the shirt off my back because he feels they're ripping the shirt off his back. And here's what he did, folks. He actually wrote a check on his shirt.
And sent it to...
And, Johnny, what is that? Does that show that it was cleared through the bank?
It has been cleared, and it says paid and returned to him, right?
That's right. It was cleared and paid. Now, this is his way of fighting back. The shirt is very white. But what he's thinking now is sending other articles of clothing to them, maybe not in such clean condition.
I see. That's a tough customer.
That's a tough customer.
All right.
Would you like this, Merv?
I would love it,
okay.
yes.
Where's my box?
Right over here. There's your stuff right in front of you, David.
But, you know, we're all into this cleanliness thing, John, you know? We're into trying to keep everything clean and blue. Our toilets, we have blue. I love these toilet cleaners. What's this one, Johnny? This is
Bully.
Bully toilet cleaner. Then we have...
Swish.
Swish. Then this is one of my favorites. We haven't challenged this one yet.
2,000 flushes, okay.
2,000 flushes.
What's your point here, David?
The point is, Johnny... The point is, Johnny, that we live in a state where there is a danger of an earthquake. Now, you might say, how does this relate to an earthquake, even though we all have our faults?
Yes.
The way this is related to an earthquake, Johnny, is if you need...
One more joke like that, and...
If you need an emergency water supply, where would you go, John, for emergency water?
My water heater? I keep water on hand. I keep extra 5-gallon, those big jars.
But what if
hand.
your water heater was shattered and you had no gallons of water
I'd go to my neighbor.
What about your neighbor?
Sure.
What about your toilet, John?
You gotta be kidding, David.
I'm not kidding. The toilet tank can store 3 to 5 gallons of water, depending on your tank, which can be used in an emergency. But, now I'm not saying these products are bad, but if you put these products in your tank
You cannot drink the water.
You cannot drink the water. Now, some products say that the water
You
is...
can, but you'll be very clean, too. But no,
You will be turning blue, John.
I see.
But some products are saying that you can drink the water and it's safe to do. But I have a warning from the American Red Cross, which says, if you want to ever use your toilet storage tanks to keep a supply of water, don't drink it. And that's a good tip. It's not only here, but in other places, too.
I could have told people don't to drink water out of their toilet, David. This does not come as a big... We'll be right back.
Ain't nothing like the real thing, baby. Ain't nothing like the real thing.
Burger King introduces chicken tenders, real fillets of all white meat chicken breasts, not formed bits and pieces of chicken like McNuggets. Delicious chicken fillets cooked in pure vegetable oil.
Ain't nothing like the real thing.
New chicken tenders from Burger King. Real chicken fillets, real good.
If only things lasted longer. If only their warranties lasted longer. If only you had bought them with the American Express card. Because from now until December 31st, we will extend the free repair period of the manufacturer's warranty. In fact, we'll double it, up to an extra year. American Express introduces buyer's assurance. Now, if something breaks, it won't break you. But only if you use the American Express card. Apply now.
The Tonight Show continues.
It's a new season of Jeopardy! Competition's tough and knowledge pays off. The excitement and challenge continue on Jeopardy!
Saturday at 7:30.
We have a home loan that can get your foot in the door. Call Home Savings.
Check him out. What a hunk.
Get a load of him.
Well, there's a super party animal. His name is Buzz McKenzie. With a beach in sight and a cold Bud Light, he's in the party frenzy.
He's Spuds McKenzie. What party-loving, happening dude.
Go, Spuds, go, Spuds, go.
Bye, Spuds. Call me.
Go, Spuds, go.
A special place for children of alcoholics.
I thought I made him drink.
And the life of urban road warriors on Cover Story magazine, Sunday.
Anyway, David, thank you for being here. We got to run. Merv, congratulations on 23 years. It was a great pleasure having you here. I mean
John.
that.
It was wonderful being
Really,
with you.
thanks for all the
Appreciate
years. And tomorrow night, have a nice weekend. We'll see you then. Okay. Does that work?
It sure does.
Okay, we'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
Next, rock with NBC's entertainment chief Brandon Tartikoff and funny man Jay Leno as they host an all-new Friday Night Videos with music videos from Daryl Hall, Billy Ocean, Huey Lewis and the News, Janet Jackson, Paul McCartney, Simply Red, and more.